Hello, arcade game nerds. It's time for the next episode of our MS Pacman project. And if you recall last time, we went over the phases of the project. The first is to get all the electronic parts together. And then after that, we are going to have to fabricate a cabinet for it. And then put all the electronics in the cabinet to make it nice and easy. So we have this little chart here. Right, this little chart here, and up at the top we had the electronics. So we got the logic board, and the next step is to get the harness, which I happen to have right here. It came in, and let's talk quickly about the harness. The harness came from Mike's Arcade, and it's got a lot of wires, and this nice plug labeled and everything. And if I were to do this on my own, get this plug and get all the different colored wires, just for one, it'd be really expensive. But this was great. This was only $40, and it has all the cables I need, and it's got it all organized and bundled. It's just fantastic. I really am happy about this. So this came in, and I was like, all right, this is going to be cake. We got the harness. We got all the wires labeled. We know what we need to hook up, and I was stoked. So I was looking at the diagram. It came with this nice little diagram with all of the information about where the cables go. Let's see, where is that? It's a very important document, and I better not lose it, because if I lose it, I'm screwed. Actually, Mike's Arcade has it online, so here it is. All right, the Pac-Man harness. So remember, the MS Pacman is just an add-on for the Pac-Man board, so it uses the same chipset, and also Galaxian. Oh, I thought it was Galaga, but it's Galaxian. Okay. Oh, Junior Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus. Wow. All right. So first thing on our diagram, we had the power supply, and I thought, oh yeah, that's great. Let's make sure that works. That's very important. Usually, when you're testing or debugging something, you check the power first. So, looking at the power bundles. I see at the top here it has a 7-volt center tap, which is the ground, and a 7-volt AC phase A, and a 7-volt AC phase B. ACs can come in different phases, and so if you get a phase A and a phase B, they're offset. You can get a total of 14 volts AC. And then down here it had 12-volt AC phase A and 12-volt AC phase B and the 12-volt center tap. And I was like, huh, that's kind of interesting. Usually the modern games, whenever there's a power supply issue, you just get a nice cheap switching power supply like this one. And it has all the voltages here, but they're in DC, because that's what the boards really use, is DC for their logic. Maybe there's some AC for the speakers and the amplifier and stuff. So I thought, I can't use a switching power supply without doing some heavy modifications. And I don't want to do those kind of heavy modifications. I want to keep it as close to as original as possible, and not hack the board, because every time you start hacking things, you can introduce some errors, and that's not what I'm interested in. So I did some searching online, and the manual. Where's the manual? The manual has this wonderful diagram about what the transformer boards are containing, And so there's this transformer here. This is the power transformer that supplies the 7 volts and the 12 volts AC. This is the isolation transformer, which is used by the monitor so that in case the monitor shorts or blows up, it doesn't affect the rest of the system. And so that's just a 120 to 120. But there wasn't much description here, and there's no like schematic. It's just got, hey, here are all the wires, just wire it up. But it's really not that much. It's a transformer and some fuses, and there's a line filter here to cut out some of the noise from the AC coming in from the wall. And so I said, okay, let's see what we can do. Trying to search for a used part, or the part that they have here. It's a Midway part number MT0000800000, a really early part. Midway does not sell that part anymore. You can't ask for that part online, and there might be some used parts out there on eBay. I haven't found any, so I think it's going to be kind of hard. Here's what the part does. It's this power transformer, and let's see if I can get the light on here. What it does, it takes 120 volts on the inside, and then it steps down to positive 12 volt and negative 12 volt with a little common in there. Now, it's not DC. It's not like the positive side of DC and the negative side of DC. Those are the different phases, right? The phase A and phase B. So that's phase A, that's phase B. And then here's the one for the 7 volts at the same time. And they each have their own common, right? So this is the transformer we need. And I'm going to attempt to try and find one from the transformer vendors I can find online, and see if they have something similar, maybe a 14 volt and a 7 volt. We'll take a look. So I'm gonna call around and see what I can find. Yeah, so much for easy, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking for a particular transformer. I need something that's 120 volts in, and I need a 12 volt with a center tap and a 7 volt with a center tap. 12 and 7. Right? Just one. Okay. You got a part number for that? Or a title? That's what I'm looking at right now. I see this AC Transformer 12 VCT 5 amp. Is that what you're thinking? 67-1125. Yeah, alright. Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right, so we got an update. Called a couple of transformer electronic component vendors, and they have a lot of them have the 12 volt center tap, and a lot of them have like a 9 volt center tap, None of them have a 7 volt. I think one had an 8 volt. But nothing altogether in a single transformer. So one option is to buy 2 transformers and use them both. Or the other option is to contact a custom transformer manufacturer. And so I did that. I contacted SNC and put in a request for exactly the 12 volt CT or VCT, and then the 7 volt VCT for a single transformer. So I've put in a quote request, and we'll see what happens when they get back to me. There are a couple of manufacturers that do custom transformers and custom windings, so I'm kind of excited. We'll see what happens, what we get back. It's the battle goes on, and we'll see what happens when we get some returns. Okay, talk to you later. Well, last minute update. I just couldn't stop looking around for transformers and looking at other places for putting in custom transformers, when all of a sudden up popped on eBay an actual MS Pacman transformer board with all the transformers for like $44 or something like that. Unfortunately, it was $60 shipping because it is heavy. It's got 2 transformers and all the other components. Yeah, maybe I'm getting ripped off, but it'd be nice to get the whole thing in, and we'll check it out, make sure it works. So it showed up on eBay, put in the order, and it should be arriving in a couple about a week or so. All right. Still, I'm going to get the quotes back from the custom vendors, and we'll see what they say. All right.